So a lot of people think it's great to come home and have their dogs or cats waiting for them. I'm going to argue that it's just as nice to come home and have the two girls and Sarah, Rosie and Daisy, and the boys, Walter and Hobbs, waiting for you too. They might be waiting for dinner, but I'm going to go with the fact that they're happy to see me as well. Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Clarissa Uttley from Plymouth State University. At Plymouth State, I coordinate our pet-assisted therapy program on campus. We have several dogs and their handlers who go to different buildings on campus and help us with special events. One would have been the Climb Above Addiction that we're doing online this year instead. I wanted to take a little bit of an opportunity to show you some different animals that when we're off campus we have an opportunity to work with and to be around. As I said, on campus we have several dog teams that you'll get to meet in this video, as well as when we come back to campus hopefully in the fall. I do hope you're all doing well and that you're staying safe and enjoying time with family. You'll see we have a couple of big guys here as well. This is Walter and Hobbs. This is Hobbs here, who's very adorable and loves to be around people and likes to have people come out and give him a nice brushing and some treats. They love hay though, more so than any other treats. And one of the reasons that I needed to get up is because they also like to knock over benches. So Walter and Hobbs are just over 2 years old and they are mini cows. So this is about as large as they'll get. They're approximately 1,000 pounds and they are just about 4 feet high at the shoulder. So they don't get very large compared to other cows. We do have people come out to the farm and they can spend some time interacting with Walter and Hobbs with us. And we also have 2 mini donkeys and a goat. And the donkeys are Rosie and Daisy, and Sarah is the goat. And so again, we oftentimes have a lot of people come over and say hi to them. So if you're ever interested in doing that, always give me an email at cmutley@plymouth.edu and I'll be more than happy to give you directions to the farm or to set up some one-on-one individual time with some of the dog teams that you might see today. So pet-assisted therapy is fabulous and it's something that I've been involved in for a very long time. In fact, when I was a child and first born, I did not have any pictures of myself with my parents, but tons of pictures with myself with our pet dog, Schnapsy. So I've had animals my entire life, and I've always been interested in how animals can help people heal or develop, typically. So my research is really in human-animal interaction and how animals can help us to develop our physical, cognitive, and social and emotional well-being. And I really do feel that animals help us in so many ways. And I've seen it in a lot of my practice and a lot of the research that I've done. And I see it with a lot of the students on campus. Sometimes students will come in and interact with the dog and their handlers, and they'll be a little melancholy or sad. And when they spend time with a dog or a cow or a goat, it seems to put some barriers down. And it gives them a different perspective, gives people a different perspective on what they're dealing with and how they can help other people that are around them. So one of the things that we really like to do when we have the dogs on campus is to help out with the finals week and any extra stress that people might be feeling. And as you can imagine, this is a time of great stress for many people. So having animals around will get us out of a funk. It will change our perspective on situations that might seem a little bit overwhelming. and really helps us to put our focus on someone else. And being able to take care of someone else, whether it's another human being or an animal, is really very, not just relaxing and empowering, but it really gives us self-worth. Being able to have control over something in our lives and being able to have someone who's responsible and counting on us is really so important.
Hi everyone, my name is Karen Ferguson and this is my therapy dog Chase. I run the Helping Paws Therapy Dog Team group, and with the help of Dr. Uttley we bring therapy dogs onto PSU campus, as well as into other places in the community. He's a little sidetracked right now. There's a chipmunk in the stone wall behind us that is taunting him. So what Chase does for therapy work, he goes into nursing homes sometimes. Occasionally you'll see him at an event on campus, but his primary goal and his primary job as a therapy dog is more in the education. He goes into classrooms at PSU and educates people about therapy dogs versus service dogs, about the importance of animal-assisted therapy, and shows off some of his tricks, which we'll show you all in a moment. He also goes to elementary schools, high schools, and does presentations there. He has done things through libraries, all sorts of places where people want to learn more about what it is to have a therapy dog, and what your job is as the handler of a therapy dog, and what it's like to just do that volunteer work out in the world with the dogs. So he does those things. One of his favorite things to do is to show off, like I said, his tricks. He has quite a few tricks under his collar that he uses to endear people to him. So we're going to show you a couple of those tricks right now. And just keep in mind, this is what he does if he goes on a visit somewhere. He will do some of his tricks to kind of try to make people smile and laugh. Come here, Chase. Down, roll over. Good boy. Good boy. Come here. Chase, bang. Oh, good boy. Good boy. Oh, come on. Can you spin? Good job. Oh, both ways. Good job. Chase, peek-a-boo. Good boy. Nice job. Good boy. Come on up. Up. Chase side. Can you wave? Can you wave? Say hi, everyone. Good boy. Good. Okay, come back up. Good. So Chase is 6 years old. He started doing therapy work when he was about 2. He had to be a year old in order to do therapy work, and at 1 year of age he was not ready to be a therapy dog, but by the time he was 2, he had calmed down, he had started listening to commands better, and he showed that he was really interested in people. So if you ever see Chase around campus, most likely he's just going to want to come and lean on you. His favorite thing to do is to lean on your leg and just be petted a little bit. And he does hope to see some of you out there. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being interested in our therapy dogs, and I hope to see you on campus.
So hi folks, my name is Sarah and this is Kona. Kona and I have been a therapy dog team since October, and as you can see he's still a bit of a puppy. Kona will be 2 in about 2 weeks. He is a purebred black lab who we got from a local breeder, and the breeder was breeding dogs for their personality and friendliness more than anything else. Which worked out pretty well because we wanted a dog that would be happy to be with people. So Kona and I will be working in a school setting. I'm an elementary school counselor, and he's had some chances to come into my office. And with the beginning of our school closure, he came in for a couple of days to provide some smiles and support to our staff. And come the fall, we expect that he'll be coming in to greet students and to help some small groups and individual kiddos. Maybe some ideas we have are students will be able to read to him. Students will also be able to write him letters and maybe read him those letters to encourage them to develop into stronger writers and boost the motivation. He's also pretty expressive. He lets you know if he's happy or not, as you've seen a little bit of. And he's able to show a lot of different body language, whether it's wagging the tail. He also will let you know if he's comfortable with an interaction or not. Let's see, he's pretty sleepy, so we'll see what happens. So for example, I stopped touching him. And did you put a paw on my leg? Do you want me to touch you? You do. Oh, and he loves scratches behind the ears. He's melting right now and letting me pat his belly. So that's him saying he's pretty happy and comfortable. But then if I stop, he'll let me know if he'd like me to continue or not. Oh, he's back. He's saying, wait, why did you stop? Do you want me to continue? He likes ear scratches, don't you? And some of his tricks are, let's see, Kona, can I have a kiss, please? Oh, thank you, buddy. And can I have a fist bump? Oh, thank you. We think fist bumps are going to be really fun for our elementary students, especially when we're walking in the hallways. And he has pretty soft ears. He loves to play fetch. One of his tricks is he has a Kong, which is a hollow toy that we can put peanut butter in. Kong, do you like that? Oh, you do. And he will set, if I hold my hands, he'll set it in my hand in the evening and as his way of asking for dessert. And he has gotten very good because if we put peanut butter in it, if he sets it right in our hands. So teaching him some manners, which is something else that he can help kids at school learn. Can I have a paw? Paw. Kona, paw. Can I have a paw? It's hard. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And how about another kiss? Oh, that was a wet one. Thank you. Oh, the other thing that Kona loves to do is swim, and we happen to have a pond. So in part of this clip, I can share with you some footage of him fetching the stick.
Drop it. Good, drop it. Are you ready? Watch it. Good, good.
The other day, a neighbor dog, also a black lab, same size, came and played with him in the pond. And what was pretty funny is Kona's very polite, so they both went in for the stick. The other dog came and tried to get it from him, so Kona let go and let him. I guess he was being a good host. Though at times they would bring the stick back in together, and they played really nicely and politely together, didn't you, buddy? One of the neat things about Kona, too, is he tends to be pretty tuned in onto moods. So let's see if he'll do this. But sometimes if somebody's upset and they're hiding their head, he'll try to get to them. Oh, that's his happy sound. Oh, good boy. Yes. And we've really worked to make sure people can touch his paws and that he doesn't mind that, right? What happened? Do you want me to keep touching you? Oh, you do? Are you coming and inviting? Yes. Well, what happens, Kona, if I hide my head? So he sneaks in and finds the face, even if you are upset and hiding it. And that's one of the things we love a lot about him. So he will be our first elementary school therapy dog, and we're pretty excited to have him join us next year. Can I have a kiss? Oh, thank you, buddy. Oh, he also knows chair. Chair. There we go. Oh, a big stretch. But he knows he's not allowed up on laps unless he's invited. And the same with furniture. Good boy. Can you sit? And down. Oh, very nice. We'll give you some belly rubs for that.
We've been really working on getting him to listen to commands no matter what is going on. One of them is the leave it command, which might mean anything. And leave it means no matter what, it's not yours. Kona, leave it. Leave it. Good, leave it. Good boy. Kona, sit.
And this is my goofy buddy, Kona, who's turning 2 on May 5th. Yeah, the puppy thing, he tends to like nibble on sleeves. He's not chomping at all, but it's kind of his way of saying, please stay and keep petting me, and trying to not let us stop. Aren't you good? Oh, good boy, buddy. So, I hope you enjoyed meeting Kona. Take care, everybody.
Guys, Angela and Nash here. Sorry we can't be there in person. So we chose to do the 5-minute video or however long it is because Nash does not engage with the 2-dimensional TV screen. So we're just going to do a couple quick tricks. But before that, I just wanted to tell you a little bit about our pet therapy journey. So when we got Nash, he was super calm, like always, would never nibbled on my fingers, never did anything, never jumped, super calm. Friends would come to visit and he'd go in the corner and sleep. So I kind of always secretly hoped that we'd be able to make him a therapy dog, but obviously there was a journey to that. So we had to go through, I don't know, 4 classes or so till he got his CGC, which is canine obedience. And then after that, we did a lot of practicing. And then we went to the White Mountain College for Pets with Karen, who you probably know, and we got him certified, and now he's part of the Helping Paws. So obviously we're not doing any pet therapy right now, which really stinks. Nash misses all of his friends. We spend a lot of our time actually going to facilities. We go to the 911. Don't eat the grass. Sit down and look at the camera. We go to the 911 office in Laconia and Concord. We go to nursing homes, assisted living facilities. Nash really likes the grass. And obviously you've come to PSU before. So we're just gonna do a couple cute tricks, and then I'm gonna take you in the house and show you the hardest trick that he does that he's the best at. Right, Ash? All right, no more grass eating. Ready? Okay, ready. Give me a high five. Good boy. A high five. Fist bump. Good job. Okay, stay there and wait. Wait. Good boy. Okay, Nash, come. Come. You're very lazy today. Good job. Good job, buddy. Good job. Nice job. Hey, Nash. Nash, do you want to ring the bell? Nashville. Nashville. Hello. Hey. Hey. Come on, Nash. Let's ring the bell. Come here. Hey, come here. Come here. Ready? Ready? Ring the bell. Ready? Ring the bell. Gotta ring it loud. Yes. Good boy. Good job, buddy. Come on. Come on. Come here. Come here. Come here. Hey, sit down. Sit. Sit. Good boy, down. Down all the way. So one of the things that we have to do for pet therapy when we go into assisted living is he needs to learn leave it, because if somebody would ever drop like cardiac medication or a pill, it's super dangerous. Nash has a little bit of a hard time with this. He's super good at home, but in the facilities, he lunges for food. For instance, one day we were in a ladies' room visiting, and she had just eaten lunch, and there was potato chips underneath her chair. It was not a good scene. But in situations like this, Nash is really good. So one of the things I do is I leave the cookies in front of him, and I tell him to leave it. And last week, I was working from home, and I did that, and I forgot. I got a phone call, and I left the cookies, left him, and I looked over, and he was sleeping next to the cookies, and they were all around him. So obviously, he can do it in a good, controlled situation. He just can't do it when we're in the facilities. We need to practice a lot more. Right, Nash? Good boy. Good job. You're very, very laid back today. You're not showing much excitement. Okay, you can have your cookies. Good job, buddy. Good job. Nice job. So we look forward to seeing you guys in person soon, and I promise I'll work on some of those trading cards that we still don't have. But you guys take care. Have a good Climb for Addiction event, and see you guys soon. Bye.
Thanks, Nash and Angela, for sharing your story and how Nash works with various populations. Nash also works with Angela in a hospice situation, and they end up visiting with hospice patients and their parents. Nash also started recently working at a Moulton Borough library where he reads with children. This is Sullivan, and Sullivan is a Holland Lop rabbit that lives with us, and she is a therapy animal in training. As you can tell, she kind of likes to be snuggled a little bit. And this really helps us when we're working with adult students at the college, and when we're working with people who just really need this sensory experience of petting or stroking an animal in a very calm, serene setting. Sullivan will be going through her training, really trying to figure out the best situations and environments for her to be able to do her work. Where is she most happy when she's doing her work? And typically that seems to be with adults who are sitting down in a very quiet, calm area without a lot of activity going around. So she would not do well in a classroom or in a loud environment. So you really want to be careful when you're choosing to work with your pet or have a pet visit your classroom or your environment, because we really need that goodness of fit with the animal, the client, and the individuals who are interacting with the animal. So again, it's all about the animal's safety. Really being able to make sure there's a good fit and that everybody is benefiting from the interaction. Hi everybody. I know right now you're looking at a rug, but here comes Miss Holly. Hi, how are you? Can you sit? Want to say hi to everybody? Say, hey, welcome to my home, guys. So if you're familiar with Plymouth State University, you're probably used to seeing Holly walk around campus. Yes, good girl. And be able to interact with all the students, faculty, and staff and visitors to campus. Holly is one of our pet-assisted therapy dogs with her handlers, Butch and Minnie, who come to campus very regularly. And she is really, really excited to have company at her home today and to show you a little bit about what life is like as a pet therapy dog. Holly, you want to go get groomed? Come on, let's go. Show us to the couch. Let's go. Come on. So what we decided to do with Holly and her handlers today is to really show you a little bit of her life at home. And that's Minnie there.
Good girl, hi.
So we know that you're all watching this Climb Above Addiction from home or with those that you care about and missing out on the in-person events. So we wanted to really take the opportunity to bring as much real life pet therapy interaction for you today.
Good girl.
So one of the downsides and there's so many of them, of the coronavirus pandemic, is a lot of dog grooming facilities are closed. And so if you've met Holly on campus, you've seen she's had bows in her hair. I know, oh my. She's had bows in her hair and she smelled like great shampoo. And so today she just needs a real good brushing from mom to get out a lot of those branches and leaves that get into that gorgeous golden fur of hers. And this is also a behavior that you won't see from Holly on campus, because when Holly's working as a pet therapy animal on campus, she has a vest on. And many of you will know that when animals are working and they have a vest on, it changes their behavior and it puts them into a different frame of mind, an expectation for what they should and should not be doing. And so Holly's vest, Holly should not be doing that. And she wouldn't do that if her vest was on, because she does know the difference between being at home with mom and dad and actually working.
Stand. Good girl. No, come this way. Come around this way. And stand. Good girl.
And I hope you heard that. Minnie was giving her the command to stand. And with that, Holly should, as she is now, be on all fours and let Minnie groom underneath.
It gets all the branches and the leaves and everything underneath.
Is Holly a pretty high maintenance dog or low maintenance?
As far as the fur goes, and like that, we usually brush her about every night.
Wow.
Let me get some of the fur out.
So she gets a brushing every night.
Yeah.
And we'll do a nice close-in shot.
Stay. You stay.
So this is another behavior that you're seeing that's a little bit unusual for her. In addition to not having her vest on, I'm fortunate enough to be one of their neighbors, and so I come over with usually some pretty good treats for Holly. So if she's a little bit more energetic than you normally see her on campus, it's a little bit my fault too. I'm the bad auntie. And Holly just turned 5 years old in December, and she's been a therapy dog for about 4 years out of that 5 years. As a pet therapy dog, different organizations, professional organizations, have different guidelines for both the age of the dog, how long the dog has to have lived with the handler, and the different commands that the dog understands and responds to reliably in different populations and environments in order to pass tests and annual recertification. So some of the basic things that Holly knows to do are, of course, the sit, the stay, down, paw or shake. And she knows a lot of hand commands, and you can't see that right now because that's happening off camera. But normally, pet-assisted therapy dogs are trained to a very reliable level in how they're going to respond and behave in certain situations.
Okay.
And the great thing about a pet therapy dog is the relationship that they have with their handlers. There's a trust that is built up with all the training between the handler, who is their person, their owner, some would say. And the pet lives with the handlers 24/7, and it's their companion animal. So Holly came home to live with Minnie and Butch when she was 8 weeks old. 8 weeks old. So, and they had a relationship with her even before that, because they would go over and visit with her before she came home. And so really it's a very strong relationship that Minnie, Butch, and Holly all have, so that they can count on each other during their therapy sessions and interactions with the public. And Minnie and Butch can read Holly's body language, and Holly can read their body language. With pet-assisted therapy, interaction and activities that happen, really the most important thing is how the dog and the client or the visitors are reacting to the dog. And if the situation is unhealthy or unsafe for any participant in the pet-assisted therapy activities, it's really important that you protect everybody involved. And at some points, that means stopping the interaction and removing the pet from the situation. We haven't had that happen on campus, but I have had that happen in some of my other professional work with both pet-assisted therapy and with other animals that I've worked with in the past. It's always important to make sure that everybody is safe and enjoying the time that they have with the pet. So at PSU, our pet-assisted therapy teams come in typically into a certain building on a regular schedule so that students, faculty, and staff know when they can find them. As I mentioned earlier, if anyone is interested in more individualized pet-assisted therapy visits, we're able to do that too. Holly not only works on the PSU campus, but she also works with crisis intervention, public relations events, a lot of media coverage on pet therapy. She also works at hospitals and has done reading programs at local libraries too. And private homes with people who are unable to get out to more public situations to visit with the dogs. So Holly's training started when she was very, very young and continues with annual professional development opportunities as well. Oh. And this is what happens when she's surrounded by students, and she will lay down and have all of these hands on her, petting her and grooming her sometimes, and really just loving on her. So as you probably saw with Holly's personality, she just really is excellent at making everybody feel happy and less worried about things that are going on in their world. So during final exams, during stressful situations, Holly just always seems to have this really sweet face about her that makes people feel welcomed and loved. Holly, you want to say bye to everybody? Let's see if we can get a big wet kiss. Oh, there we go. So everybody, thank you so much for visiting with Holly, Butch, and Minnie. And we're hoping that we can see you in person again sometime soon. Take good care, everybody. Bye.